What is a variable ND filter, and does it really matter when you're shooting video? What is up, guys? CJ here with another episode of What the F-Stop. Today we're going to be talking about ND filters. If you like these types of videos, please like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Also hit that bell icon so you get notifications whenever I release new videos. Today we're going to be talking about these variable ND filters from K&F Concept. Now, I'm not sponsored in any kind of way because I'm not affiliated with this company. However, I have purchased multiple of these K&F Concept variable ND filters, and I really enjoy the way that they make my video quality look. So this video was spurred because someone came onto my video and asked me how I was able to get the blurry background, especially when it's really sunny outside. And I told them that if you have a variable ND filter, that is what you're going to use to allow either more or less light in to get that separation between your subject and the background via the aperture. Now, as we all know, we all try to shoot these videos with the 180-degree rule. So if you are shooting in 24 frames per second, you are going to try to be at 1/50th shutter speed. Now, if you didn't know that, if you are shooting videos and you're not obeying the 180-degree shutter rule, then your videos are going to look a little bit jerky. They're not going to be as smooth. You're not going to have smooth motion and different things like that. And that is because either your shutter speed is too high or too low, and you are not getting, I don't know, the most bang for your buck, if you will. So I use the variable ND filter, especially when I'm outside, even sometimes when I'm on the inside and I want to get the full wide open aperture of my lens. So right now I'm shooting on the 35mm f-stop 1.8. So I do have quite a bit of a blurry background, and that's because I have a light directly on me and it's completely dark in this room right now. And you probably couldn't even tell that it's like there's no lights on in this room because the aperture is as open as it's going to be in this room. Now, if I had this variable ND filter on, I could actually get a blurrier background because I can get my camera or the lens down to f-stop 1.8. Right now I'm shooting at f-stop 2.2, so this is as blurry as the background is going to be. Now, when I was shooting in Las Vegas, I've literally shot this video 3 times. When I was shooting in Las Vegas, I actually had this variable ND filter on, and I was talking about it because it was really easy for me to show you exactly what the variable ND filter can do for you if you are shooting video and you do want your subject in frame, but you want that cinematic blurry background, the bokeh. And of course the audio was kind of screwed up, so I wasn't able to use that video, but I will show you a little bit of what that looks like. So if you are shooting video outside, it's a beautiful bright day. It seems like a great time to shoot video outside. However, if the sun is so bright and your camera is going to try to compensate that brightness so your picture is actually usable, and what that's going to do is either going to increase your shutter speed or it's going to increase your aperture. Now, if you increase your aperture, that means that more and more things are going to be in focus. So if you're shooting at an f-stop 10, everything from the foreground and the background is going to be in focus. That may be what you're looking for. However, if you want some separation from the foreground to the background, you are going to have to shoot at a lower aperture. If you have a lens that has the lowest aperture at 1.4, of course you can get that great blurry background. But if you're outside and you don't have an ND filter on, then you are going to be shooting at a higher aperture just to keep your shutter speed at the 180-degree rule. Now, the thing that I really like about the variable ND filters is that you can actually adjust it based on the situation that you're in. So you may be outside and the sun may be going in and out with the clouds. You may be walking somewhere where it's bright in some places, it's shadowed in some places, and you want to keep the aperture at a point that everything is not in focus, or you may want the background to be blurry. The variable ND filter will allow you to adjust that on the go, on the fly, and your camera will adjust based on that while keeping your 180-degree rule. Now, if you are not a person that films or looks at the settings of your camera and you just kind of turn your camera on and go, you're not gonna know what I'm talking about right now. But if you do want to get that bokeh and you are not understanding why your camera, you know, you have the same camera as somebody else and you're not able to get that blurry background, more than likely it's because you don't have either an ND filter on your camera or your settings aren't right to get that blurry background. Basically, the bokeh is fed from your aperture. So if you have a lower aperture, you're going to have a blurrier background. That's just my concept of how it actually works. Now, the K&F concept filters, variable ND filters, are really good because they are not only affordable, but they actually work. They protect your camera. They waterproof the front of your camera. Now, a lot of these lenses that you have are already waterproof, but this is just an extra layer of protection. You can scratch this up. It's like $30 and you won't scratch your, $6, $7, $8, $9, $1,000 lens, So I always keep this on my camera for the most part, unless I don't need any kind of ND filtration. If I'm shooting on the inside, I normally don't have this on unless I'm shooting in a situation like this and I want my aperture to be a certain amount and I need to be able to adjust that. Also, this K&F concept lens actually has no X technology. So I guess back in the day or a couple years ago, whenever, I don't know. These ND filters got a bad rep because when you would open and close the, I'm gonna actually show you, see if I can show you this, maybe. All right, you can see my eyeball right now, and I'm going to close this. So now you can't see my eye. So right now it's like completely shaded. It's at like the N32. And this is the N2. Now you do have some variable ND filters that have a wider range, and they do cost a little bit more. However, this right here does the trick for me, and I don't have to purchase a bunch of ND filters and carry with me. I'm all about compactness and having something that's going to work kind of in a run and gun situation. Now, what this no X technology means is basically the way that this thing works is it reflects light at I guess a different pace whenever you twist it. So when you're like this, it's completely shaded. When you're like this, it's light. And I guess the older ND filters, they actually had a point to where you could actually see that crossing point and you actually have a shadow X in your video footage. Nobody likes to have video or audio that's just not right, because you will have to go back and reshoot, and then you may be in an exotic location. You can't ever go back there and reshoot. So nobody wants to see that. So this technology is so that you won't actually have that when you are adjusting your ND filtration. Now, so I hope that you got some kind of value out of this video. Like I said, I made this video because somebody asked me a question on my YouTube channel as to how I was able to get the blurry background while it's bright outside, and I just wanted to let you know. So if you do have a camera like a Sony a6400 or a Sony a7R III and you didn't understand why people are getting that blurry background and you can't achieve that same look, it may be your ND filter. Maybe you need to adjust your settings to where you are getting the lowest f-stop for your lens. Now, I've done a bunch of videos on lenses. I'll put them in the cards up below. But the lens I'm shooting on right now is like a 35 millimeter. I'm gonna make something up. I don't know. A 35 millimeter f-stop 1.8. And so right now I'm like I said, I'm shooting in 2.2. So I do have a blurry background, but it's not as blurry as it could be. I'm actually really far away from the camera. So that does give me separation from the camera as well as separation from the back. So I do have enough room back there to get a blurry background. If I did not have a lens that could get up to or get down to f-stop 1.8, I wouldn't have that blurry background. Like if I was shooting with my kit lens, I think it goes to like f-stop 4.8 or something like that. So I would be in focus, and also the background, I mean, you would be able to see the brick lines back there because everything will be in focus. So that is all I got to say about variable ND filters. If you have any questions about it, shoot them in the comment section below. I'll try to answer them as best that I can. I appreciate you guys for watching. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Thanks, guys.